Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and otherwise. I'm Lamar Haven. Welcome back to the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth. Alright, last run, we did some things. It didn't go very far. Poor Lazarus. I'm so bad at you. I kind of want to do an Eden run, but we haven't done Lilith. Yeah, you know what? Let's see if we can take Lilith to the Dark Room, shall we? I think that sounds like a plan. I don't want to burn a black heart going into the Cursed Room. Let's see if I can maybe get a blue heart. Oh, goody. Well, boss room. Let's go for an item room first. I'm not using my spacebar item except on the boss, really. Careful! And you should be super dead. There we go. Yay, key. A bomb would be nice. I'd like to get into that stone chest. But, I mean... beggars can't be choosers, I suppose. Oh dear. That was close. A bomb would have been nice for that tester rock as well. It's a companion. And it'll get doubled by my spacebar item. So, a little Gertie. A Gerd of your own. I don't know if I've demonstrated this before, but as you hold, Gertie charges, let go, and he explodes with impact. Ah, hell. Also, they're now going to be offset because I summoned him at a silly time. Little Gertie can actually deal some pretty decent damage if you can aim it right, but it's not ideal. Oh well, any companion that gets doubled is a useful companion. Binky memories. Alright, well, like I said, if I got a blue heart, I was going to try that Cursed Room. And that is definitely a blue heart. Ah, hell. Nothing. Maybe the room will give me something. The room... Net... Well, no net gain, no net loss, though. So, moving on. I'm now Baby Lilith. Goo goo. Alright. What are we dealing with now? I could go to an arcade room. That's not a terrible option. Careful. Trying to go for the champion first might be a mistake. Let's kill the weaker guy. There we go. Aha! Almost like I planned it that way. Careful. Gertie. Gertie, do work. Gertie, do work. Thank you, Gertie. Alright. Come on, more work. Came apart like a zipper. I love it. Hey, another key. I'm not gonna complain about more drops. Especially from their champion flies, of all things. Come on. I need all of you dead. Squishy squish. Alright. What do you want? 2 diamonds. That will be useful. I just have to remember I have it. Ow. I kind of put myself in a bad position there. I should have gone for that fire that could hurt me before I did too much else in this room. Definitely destroying all the fires, especially if we have a 2 of diamonds on hand. I'm liking all the keys. Not entirely necessary. I could use some bombs too, but keys are good. Let's see. What are we dealing with here? Ah, Super Lust. Fantastic. You know what? Super Lust deserves a double shot. I'll pick it up, but, I mean, I'm not going to keep it. Box of Friends is obviously a superior item for Lilith. Oh, hell. I might not be able to recharge. Oh, that was a mistake. Now I'm not going to have it for the boss. This is only going to give me a single charge. I need at least 2 more rooms or 1 big room. I don't suppose I can walk into the challenge room. I think you need... I think you only need... the only requirement is that you have only 1 heart left. Or 1 heart container left, at most. If I use this, I'll get 16, but then these items are items I want. So we're gonna hold on to the 2 of diamonds and our money. I have a golden key, that's why I walked in there, in case you were curious. I think the protector fly, which is garbage by the way, look at it, will also get multiplied by the chest item. Okay. Works for me. This will give us the charge we need. And we can get whatever drops are in here. Besides, 3 red chests is pretty good chance to get something useful. We didn't. I mean, we're gonna try some of the pills, of course, but it's something I probably would have done anyway, even if I didn't need the spacebar charges. Careful, careful. Good job. Alright, what are our pills? Amnesia? I can see forever. Let's walk around and make sure we get all these secret rooms, shall we? Oh, come on, really? What a garbage secret room. Oh, don't pick up something. Alright, so there's not one here. Now we're looking for the super secret room. Well, which is right there. Cool. Not worth, but I'll blow it up. Or I could miss. Damn. That was somewhere between a cough and a groan. Go, Gerties, go! And it did double the fly. It's just now twice as useless. Tears up. Piece of guppy. Or drops. Here's the seed, by the way. Alright, I need to lock in a double deal, but I'm not getting any heart containers, I'm not getting many guppy pieces, but if I pass up this guppy piece, there's a really good chance I just won't get guppy. And I'd really like to get guppy. So let's grab Guppy's collar. This is a big risk, but I think I can pull it off. I just need to get heart containers somehow. I mean, don't get me wrong, right now this is a pretty garbage build, even for Lilith's ability to make good use of companions. Come on. No. There we go, okay. Health up. Hematemesis. Or hematemesis, I think, is actually how the announcer dude pronounces it. Maybe I should pronounce it correctly. That would be nice. Alright, So, I realized that, like, the point of this entire video series is so... Oh, I don't think that's a very good item, I don't remember. That's like Pisces, I think? But the effect I keep thinking it is Aquarius, and I don't think that's right either. So here's what I'm gonna... I'm gonna pick it up. I know I can reroll it. Tears up, knockback shot. Right. This is actually good. This is actually good. I mean, getting knockback shot when I'm gonna multiply my tear shots all the time? Oh my, yes. Now remember, with Lilith, builds that are based around the batteries, the battery items, are way more powerful than builds that are just pure damage. So if I can get my hands on some battery items, it'd be great. And I do kind of, and that's what I mean is why I'm saving my money. I want to save my money for shops because that's where you can get most of the battery items more reliably. Anyway, this series is mostly about me trying to get better at Isaac. But even with me vocalizing my strategy and such, eventually I'm just gonna run out of things to say. So I am gonna sort of extend what I use these Isaac episodes for, and not just talk about the game itself and the strategies and what I do know and what I don't know, that kind of thing. I'm gonna think about, I'm gonna talk about maybe not necessarily general gaming news, just gaming stuff that I'm interested in. Like I talked about Final Fantasy VII becoming episodic, which I don't think is a big deal, but then again, I'm not as huge a fan as other people are, so I can understand, so there's a difference of opinion there. And there's the general complaint that, oh, everything's episodic or DLC and stuff like that, and that's absolutely a fair criticism. I'm not gonna say otherwise on that. I just think in this specific situation, it's good. If you don't compare it to the overall context of gaming in general. Anyway, I'm excited for Legion coming out for World of Warcraft expansion. I still rated well and everything, and I intend to keep doing so. So Legion's pretty awesome. I really hope to get into the beta when it comes out. It's still in alpha, so I'm not worried. Range up. That'll have to do. So I'm not terribly worried about getting the beta because it's gonna have a long beta. Damage up, good. I'm not gonna say no to damage up items, that's for damn sure. 3 chest challenge rooms are usually worth it to me to go in. You'll almost always get way more resources than you walked in with. I mean, just getting the 2 blue hearts was more than enough to make that worth it. Getting Steven also, super good. We're definitely going to the shop because I can make myself have 20 coins, which we're not going to use yet because I might use both my bombs on the donation machine to get even more coins before I double them. But you're not giving me battery items, so we're not going to do that plan. He has refused to give me battery items, and of all things from this boss, I want a heart container. Because if we do get a double deal, I want to be able to spend a heart container. There's no way I'm spending 3 of my temporary hearts to get an item. Oh, right. Went the wrong way. These are supposed to have been buffed, those rooms. I don't know how. Very mysterious about how they were buffed. I know some streamers and such were doing test runs to find out how they were buffed and what you could do with them. But I didn't get to watch any of those. I was busy. So, I don't know what the actual effects are. Alright, double up. Come on. Push you towards the back, get hit by the fly. Hey, look at that, the fly is useful. No heart containers. Well, temporary heart containers, but not big heart containers. Oh, Krampus. That's actually perfect time. No, careful. Oh, careful! Ah, oh, got me. And double got me. Oh, man. I was about to say I was doing good against Krampus, too. Oh, Krampus's head. He'd be useful for just about every single other character. Oh, well. These things happen. My hearts are dangerously low. I've gotten no battery items, and my damage is not fantastic. But I'm Lilith. Let's see if we can still keep it working. So, in World of Warcraft, maybe I'll talk about my World of Warcraft history a bit. I've talked about it before on, like, streams and such, but, you know, I don't mind. It's sort of what I want to talk about right now. I started playing World of Warcraft as a troll rogue way back early vanilla. Like, I remember Battlegrounds first being introduced when I played as my troll rogue. I ended up stopping short of max level at the time, which was 60. And I was around 40-something, and I just kind of stopped playing because the guild I was in started falling apart, and the super nice person who got me into the guild in the first place and was a super nice person in general, she got kicked out for whatever reason. I didn't know the whole drama. It's not like I was an officer or anything. I didn't know anything about it, and I just kind of was like, well, I'm not terribly interested. I mean, I didn't really make too many friends. There was like one really nice person that I've made friends with, and everybody else I was just kind of, who are you people? I'm not very social as a gamer. I have to have a lot of reason to get social. So after that happened, I quit for a while, and I think I was out for maybe 2 content patches. And then I went to college, and in college, I had a friend, and she wanted me to get into WoW because she was going to get a bunch of us into WoW. And she was like, well, I was like, okay, what server, what character, so and so and so on, because I'm a sucker, and will totally do anything a girl asks me. Especially back then. And besides, I mean, I had fun playing WoW, I just didn't have any friends to play with. Having friends to play with in WoW, sure, that'll make the game a lot more fun. So, I mean, it's not just, oh, pretty girl, no, it was actually, I had good reasons for wanting to play WoW with people. Let's see what's in here. Oh, well, that'll be useful. Yeah, yes. I could get that, but that's pointless because I'll be spending my last money to get it. Anyway, so she was like, this server, which ended up being a roleplay server, she liked roleplay servers just because they were more friendly and less hardcore of characters and people, and like, if you, back then, when you ran instances and stuff, it was only with people on your server, so you weren't gonna run with people in other servers in general. So she was like, just in general, they're more friendly people, and I like hanging out with them. And I was like, no problem with me. I don't like PvP servers, and it was just a regular roleplay server, so why not? Actually, it got to the point where this roleplay server got so big that it's basically like a medium-sized normal PvE server, and barely anybody treats it like a roleplay server anymore. Even back then, honestly, they had more opportunity to roleplay back then, but nowadays I think the roleplay is almost dead, or I just don't experience any of it. I mean, it's possible. I'm really isolated in that game. Especially with Warlords of Draenor and the garrisons and stuff. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. Just know that there's a mechanic in this expansion where you have your own basically base of operations, where you're in charge of everything, and there's rarely ever reason to leave it. And only you can see your base of operations unless you specifically invite people to your group, and then they decide to go see your base. Alright, the Frail. This guy can be pretty tough because sometimes his attacks aren't necessarily unpredictable, I just don't know enough about them and keep running into them. Finally got some HP up. I really like the Fear Shot, but the Pact is more useful and will give me some hearts back. And it's just way more efficient, getting a 2 heart deal for 1. So I think that'll do. We'll move on, and I'm getting really lucky with these devil deals. Don't worry, I'm noticing that. Anyway, so I rolled a human male warrior, because at the time warriors were like the only tanks, and my friend told me we needed a tank. And I was like, sure. I'm not done like an important job at MMOs before. I've always been DPS. Keep in mind, when I say DPS is an important job, that's not what I mean. That's not literally what I mean. What I mean is tanks and healers tend to be less of them, so they're more in demand. It's not that DPS aren't important. They're absolutely important. You're not killing anything without DPS, but there's more of them. So that means, and it also means that in general, more of the population of the game plays as them. But yeah, I was like, I can learn to be an important job. Oh, here's the thing about MMOs, and here's the thing you should know personally as a player. If you're not a huge MMO fan, but you get into them, and you're kind of worried about the role you play in a raid or a dungeon or whatnot. If you're the type of person who says, I don't know if I should play tank or healer, that seems like a lot of responsibility and I don't want to disappoint people, you're exactly the type of person who should play a tank or healer. If you're concerned about that, that means you've got the right mindset to get good at that sort of thing, and you've got the right, you probably are concerned about your performance in games. That means you're doing your best to try and get better. or at least trying to get better in even a small way, you're the type of person that should be a tank or healer. That's always been my rule in MMOs. If you're concerned about that, you're probably gonna end up being good at it. And usually I'm right. I've not met a situation where I've gave someone that advice and they've disliked being a tank or healer or ended up being bad at it. I remember a friend of mine, we got her into WoW, and as she was leveling up, and she was like, well, I want to do this and this, but I'm not sure how it works, and I've got some questions, and like every single question she asked me, I was like, okay, you're asking all the right questions, I'll answer them of course, but you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be absolutely great at this game. And I was right. She ended up leading like the secondary raid in my guild for a while. She only stopped because it was a lot of stress getting everybody together all the time, and her guild had less people than her part of the guild. Well, her raid, sorry, had less people than ours. So, not worth it. I'm still not getting any battery items. I'm gonna keep my money, but I'm not gonna get. I'm getting like one more shop, I think. Anyway, I kind of jumped ahead of myself. That was a different friend than the first friend I talked about. So I played a warrior. Not all my friends continued to play WoW, like one of them did, and we eventually got into the same guild and started raiding together. But that was like 2 raid groups in. My first raid group was just this super casual, we raid for fun and hopefully we can actually kill stuff kind of guild. They taught me a lot about how to play the game at max level that I had no idea about, because back then, well, there were guides and stuff on how to do it, but I didn't know where to look for them. I didn't know what kind of information I needed. I didn't know anything. And back then I was a DPS warrior, not a tank, because I still didn't know how to tank yet. Alright, let's get this tinted rock. So I was like the 5th or 6th DPS warrior in the raid, because that was back when you had 40-man raids. Alright, kill, kill, kill. And you're garbage. We're leaving. I'm gonna go ahead and full clear. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, so my first guild, I ended up had also an unfortunate name. I'm not gonna tell you the specific name, because I don't want to give too much information about my playing habits so people can, you know, stalk me. If you want to send me friend requests and you want to send me stuff like that, feel free, but send it in a private message and I'll give it to you privately. I'm not going to give it to folks out on, like, just the comment section or something. That'll end poorly. Anyway, the guild name that we had, there's an infamous ERP guild, which, if you don't know what that stands for, that's erotic roleplay. That was actually, they would do ERP for in-game gold. And their guild name was basically a swapped version of ours. Nobody did it on purpose. There was no malice meant to that. There was nothing like that. It just happened. Because, like, the guild name, the original guild I was in, it was a guild name that they'd been using in MMOs for years already. And then this other guild came about and had a similar idea. And so when you swap the name, it became the ERP guild. So they had a bit of a reputation on the server. So our guild would occasionally get these really bad messages, and we're like, that's not us. Leave us alone, please. We have underage people in this guild. You keep sending these tells, and we will report you.
2 of spades.
Ansys. Okay. I will take Ansys. Let's go to the secret room first. Yeah, careful. Alright, now let me see. What else? Well, anyway, eventually that guild fell apart for various reasons. Wow, this room just rocked me. Oh, that was awful. That guild eventually fell apart, as they're wont to do. Good people, different ideas, that kind of thing. And when it fell apart, I ended up joining a more hardcore raid guild. Okay, so, fun little story. They're doing the typical take you in a 5-man and give you an interview and see how you run thing. Well, this was in Burning Crusade, the first expansion of World of Warcraft. So the max level cap was gone from 60 to 70, the items were way better, the equipment was way better, and everything was just, you know, if you got to max level, which of course I did, I got to level 70, your gear should be way better than it was in vanilla, the original WoW. Well, I had a bit of a problem when leveling up. For the life of me, I just couldn't find a gauntlet better than the very first tier in the previous expansion, which even in the previous expansion, that was pretty garbage gear. Like I said before, when I raided, I didn't raid well. We're not getting Tiny Planet. No, that's a bad idea. Oh, God. I'm getting nothing. Absolutely nothing. We're gonna bomb through here, of course. Anyway, so I still had a tier 1 gauntlet, but I'm doing a max level dungeon in the next expansion. So, we did the entire run. The healer who was there, who was married to the tank lead at the time, was the one doing, she was obviously talking to her husband while we were doing the run, and she's like, okay, well, you did well enough tanking, you seem to know the basics, we can teach you the rest. Well, she didn't say that part, long story. You can figure out the rest, is basically what she said. We just have one question. From the tank officer has just one question. Why do you still have tier 1 gauntlets? I was like, oh, that's because the quest I needed to upgrade them came from the dungeon we just did. It was really cool of me to really have that at that time ready. I was so proud of myself. I was like, haha, I'm ready for that. So, I actually didn't expect to get asked that question. I was just like, well, I need this dungeon, because they asked me what dungeon I would like to run for the trial run. So I ended up running that dungeon for the first time with them, for the first time ever, because obviously if I had run that dungeon sooner, I would have gotten the gauntlets, and got the upgrade I needed to make sure I didn't look like a total scrub. It was great. I loved it. Nowadays, tier loot, if you have like the final tier of an expansion, that'll probably last you halfway through the next expansion before you need to start upgrading loot in general. But that's like if you got some of the best loot. And usually I do, because my raid group eventually does start get into the hardest rank of raiding and kills most of the bosses. We don't always kill the final boss because the final boss is always notoriously hard, and we're not a super hardcore guild now at the moment. Well, we never really were super hardcore. It's just it's harder to be a hardcore guild the bigger the raid size. And when it was like 10-man raiding could be the hardest of the hardcore easily, we were fine. We could keep up with some of the pretty hardcore guilds. Nowadays, not so much, because 20-man raiding is the thing. And it's not to anyone's detriment. It's not to say, oh, well, no, we just have garbage players. No. It's your contribution to raid now becomes less significant, so even if you're an amazing DPS, that's great. We need at least one more amazing DPS to make up the same equivalent of the damage you were doing percentage-wise previously, you know? Anyway, again, I think I'm jumping from place to place. I should be talking about my history of raiding and everything. Anyway, the second raid guild I ended up joining, where I was once again tanking, by this point I had learned at least the basics of tanking. There was still a lot to learn, though. That guild ended up having a reputation I wasn't aware of, as having a lot of trolls and just generally a lot of people from other guilds that just had bad attitudes that ended up getting kicked out. I didn't know this. I'm not a social enough person to know like the gossips and everything going on in the server. So, like, to this day, my current guild knows of all the people who are in that guild and was like, why were you in that guild? You don't fit in with those people. And I'm like, I didn't know that. I knew they were looking for a tank, and I knew that they were doing content that I was doing. Alright, you know, I don't think I can handle the Dark Room. I think I'm gonna go with the Polaroid. Even though, yes, we have beaten Cathedral, we haven't beaten Chess. And I think we might have a chance to beat Chess. This, however, would murder me. And I'm not blowing up the Devil Beggar. Blowing you up, though. Do I play better when I'm not talking about Isaac? I think I play better when I'm not talking about Isaac. Alright, Curse the Unknowns. We're not gonna know what we're picking up. There are no more shops. Everything's garbage. And I don't know what my health is. Fantastic. Oh no, so that means we will know what the items are. Right, Curse the Unknown is just about your health, not items. God damn it! Look, see, because my little buddy here trails behind so much, I can't get the range I need to charge into them to kill them before they kill me. Oh well. Where was I? I was talking about my second guild, which had a bad reputation. Some of the players are still rather infamous on our server, even though they've long left. I'm not going to tell you any of their names or anything, of course, because I don't want to besmirch other people's names, because, like, yeah, I had some personal experience with how some of these people acted, but it's possible I'm less judgmental than others. I didn't see the big deal about some of their personalities. Some of them definitely clashed, though. Anyway, that guild eventually fell apart, as they're wont to do. So I kind of still liked the guild I was in, and I wanted to raid, though, and there was no way the guild was going to raid. So I joined at the time what was called a guild alliance. This is just a raid group that doesn't have an official guild. They take people from whatever guild that they want to be in. So if you're like in a guild and you're like, oh, this is a guild with all my friends, but we're not gonna raid, there's like 10 of us. Oh, hell. I wasn't paying enough attention to my health. I guess I'll be finishing this story a little later. Find out what happens in my raid alliance and raid guild next time I feel like talking about it. Fuck, I did badly. I thought I did pretty decently, though. Actually, now I think about it, this build sucked. I don't know if I made bad decisions or what. I did have more resources that I could have used in, like, arcades and stuff, maybe, but I don't think I ran into any once I started getting the resources. I'll have to look at this run in recording and in editing and see if I did anything specifically wrong that jumps out to me besides just being bad and taking more damage than I should have. Oh well, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you folks next time.